Okay. Good afternoon. It is June 6th, 2025. So I don't know if you saw the video that I did just a couple days ago now. I had something took out my car, my sensor in my car or something. Like all of a sudden, I was driving my car the whole day. All of a sudden, I went in to go get it, and it doesn't start. The CIA has done this to me before. This is not the first time. I have had my car hit by a energy weapon from the CIA out of Denver. This is not the first time. I have mentioned that on this targeted individual list that I have mentioned multiple times. I've showed the list. I've talked about it. The head of the targeted list is the CIA out of Denver. I have tried to communicate this multiple times to my own government. These issues with the CIA. But I don't hear anything in return. They're not communicating to me in return. So I don't know exactly what information they're getting. I know this information, first of all, because of what I've been through as a whistleblower. I know that it's the CIA is the deep state, and I know, and also because I have people in my own family that I found out are CIA, and then I know certain things about them, and I've learned certain things about them, of certain things they're involved in and how they operate, and that's also how I know that this is all CIA. The deep state is the CIA. And so I don't know, it's like the men just don't listen anymore. Like maybe because I'm a woman, I don't know what it is, but they just have a really hard time communicating. Okay, and it's putting like my life in danger and the whole world in danger because they can't communicate, or they can't seem to, understand what I'm saying or something. And Alice Dark, I've had her on my channel. Blonde girl, and she is also in that bloodline that I talked about, that is in my the same bloodline, the Moravian bloodline, that same one that Marilyn Monroe is in. And Alice Dark has been murdered now. This is not a joke. We're in extreme danger. Alice Dark was living in Texas. She talked about how she's in the CERN and that she's in extreme danger. She talked about that she's in extreme danger on her channel. Nobody was listening. Nobody was taking her seriously. She had, instead of the police helping, she had the police involved in her harassment. I showed several videos of that she sent me, that she would go for walks and they would set up these like stage shows for her, these fake accidents where these areas where she would go walk. I have the same thing happening here. It's like our tax money is being used to set up a stage show, instead of actually being used to protect people. I mean, why do we even have these type of police? Oh, I definitely don't trust the sheriff here in Hennepin County, that DeWanda woman. I mean, she's 100% deep state. Like, I have no idea, like, why she's even on the news. Like, she's 100% deep state. The sheriffs. So I'm reading more of this book, and I'll explain more of what I'm learning about kind of like the past of how this started happening in our country. But I'm very upset about the death of Alice. She was my friend. I tried to help her, and so I've been trying to reach out for months, and then I thought I saw that she was still posting on X. Her YouTube channel was shut down. Her telephone number, I couldn't get a hold of her. But yeah, no, she's dead now. So, I mean, she kept saying I'm in danger. I am the Alice in the CERN. They were using her DNA or something because we're in this Moravian bloodline or something. And I offered her to come out to my house in South Dakota to get out of there. She said she knew she was in danger. She had like these FBI planes. She had these videos where she had the flight tracker, where she had planes, because she has a chip in her head. She knew she was chipped. And it was like they were tracking her by plane. and she had this all on her, she would show all this on her channel. Nobody was taking her seriously, or I don't know. It's like, I think maybe they took her seriously, but nobody tried to help her. And that's what we're trying to say, is that, you know, we know who these people are. We're trying to help point it out. You know, the FBI is part of the deep state. They had an FBI plane go over her head. They're not here to help us. They're part of the deep state. You know, we try to tell you these things, and if you don't take action against them and do something, then you're putting myself and the whole rest of the country and the rest of the world in danger. And so my car has now been hit by some kind of energy weapon, and I have to go get it checked out to see how bad the damage is. This is not the first time this has happened. When I was driving in Aberdeen, South Dakota, I was literally in the middle of driving, and my whole car just went like, I mean, just, you know, right in the middle. Thankfully, I wasn't going fast, but I was on a side, you know, just a side road in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and then I had to pull over, get the car over to a shop, and like the control panel of all the sensors had been hit. I mean, you know, what kind of weapon can do that? It's coming from the CIA bases. That was my other car that I had, and you know, this is what they're capable of. I mean, I have said this before. The CIA is the deep state, and and you know, and then there's, you know, there's this fighting going on with Elon Musk and Trump and stuff like that. But you know, I said this before. The CIA is operating a Trump clone. Okay, there's Trump clones. Okay, so how do we know we're dealing with the real Trump? Nobody really knows. That's the problem. Okay, so I like Elon Musk. I mean, he has risked his life as a businessman. He's risked his life and his business to help our country. I mean, these people are evil. You know, I mean, believe me, I know firsthand. But Elon Musk is not evil. I mean, I've seen evil. You know, I know what evil acts like. I know, and Elon Musk is not act this way. Like, evil people, this is like the basic characteristics that I wrote down, is that they act arrogant, unreasonable, insane, destructive, and they even are self-destructive in the end. In the end, they'll end up like destroying their own self, because they're full of demons. And this is how the CIA operates. You know, and this is how my own family has operated. Because certain people got involved, you know, for the money and certain things in my family, and there's a lot of things that I don't even know about my own family, but I know that they got involved in certain things because of the money, I'm sure, and that, you know, they're all wrapped up in it now, and they're pure evil now. Like, they're not anything like what they used to be. Like, I mean, the CIA has very, very powerful mind control programs, and it's the most dangerous agency. And like I said, and they might not even know that they were chipped by this AI or whatever. Like, it's just completely insane now. Completely insanity. And I've been trying to explain this, but there's more that I'm reading in this book that has to do with, you know, like kind of how this all happened in our country. And let's see. Okay, so it has a lot to do with a secret doctrine that started way back in like 1280 BC out of Egypt. Okay, I'm learning more from this book, and apparently the headquarters of the Illuminati is or was in Brussels, Belgium. It's you know, that's who it's the Illuminati symbol is, that all-seeing eye. European Common Market today is located in Brussels, Belgium, and Brussels, Belgium is the headquarters for the worldwide Illuminati. Is it a mere coincidence that the headquarters for the worldwide Illuminati just happens to be Brussels, the same headquarters of the European Common Market? You know, plans have been made for decades, like generations, you know, to establish a one world government and a one world religion. Political structure of our world today is preparing for the rise of an antichrist. Yes, this is what they've been working up to, is the rise of an antichrist. Okay, and they've been deceiving, and even some of our own founding fathers were deceived, and that's kind of what I'm learning. Like, and even some of the lower level Masons, they really don't know that some of the upper Masons are actually full Illuminati. So the Illuminati apparently has been infiltrating the Masonic lodges since the 1776. So that's kind of what I learned recently here. And then this is a good quote here. What is one to do when in order to rule men, it is necessary to deceive them? Oh yeah, they've deceived a lot of people, and they're thinking that they're doing something that, you know, doing something good or something, and they're not. The Illuminati was organized on May 1st, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, a former Jesuit lawyer and professor of Ingolstadt University in Bavaria. The aim of the secret organization was to replace Christianity with a religion of reason, or humanism. Replace all national governments with a one world government. Okay. And it goes back to the all-seeing eye. Okay, has been traced back to mystery schools in this secret religion. In the 18th dynasty, the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep, which was the fourth, in 1350 BC. It was probably brought into Egypt by the children of Ham and the Tower of Babel. About the Hamites. Okay, so ancient mystery cult, Rosicrucianism. Okay, it goes back to, like I said, the Egyptian during the 18th dynasty, or the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep, about 1350 BC, which means before Christ. Okay, ancient order of the Holy Cross. The rose was chosen for its color, the 5th century. Okay, so the Frankish king Merovi, I guess this is, you know, the bloodline, the secret bloodline, I don't know. Apparently he had this heart, it was actually a birthmark above his chest that was actually shaped like a red cross, and that's actually where the symbol of the red cross with the white shield come from, which ended up being the symbol of the Knights Templar, because I guess he was in this bloodline, the royal bloodline with Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So the Templars had this red cross, and it had to do with apparently he had a birthmark, a natural birthmark above his heart that had the red cross. So that's kind of how they came up with the red cross, apparently. Okay, and then but then there's history here that I didn't know, like about George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and stuff. It says that George Washington, George Washington was a Mason, but he was actually trying to warn the Masonic Lodge in America that the Illuminati was starting to infiltrate the Masonic lodges. So George Washington was one of them that was, you know, like maybe. So the Masons were more like the Templars way back then, when he was more like a Mason, the founding father. But then, but they started to infiltrate with Illuminati on the upper levels of the Masonic lodges, is what happened. And apparently Benjamin Franklin was a part of a secret society, and so was Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. There was some letters that tried to deal with this problem. According to the Journals of Congress, 1776, Volume 1, Jefferson, Adams, and Benjamin were part of secret societies. They were appointed by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776, to prepare a seal for the United States of America, 13 years before John Adams became concerned about a conspiracy. But they're the ones who created the Great Seal of the United States. Okay, but it was Illuminati based. Okay, the pyramid with 13 levels is said to represent the 13 colonies, but the association with ancient Egyptian and Babylonian mysticism are apparent. The Hindu symbol of the mind's eye. And you got to be careful with Hinduism as well. That's an occult. The words Novus Ordo Seclorum stem from the Babylonian mysticism announcing the birth of a new secular order. Okay, apart from religion. Okay, and we are. He proposed. So this guy Franklin Logson said, the last Babylon mentioned in the Book of Revelation is the United States. We're the last Babylon. Like I said, the harlot is here in Babylon here. Okay, so I just want to touch on that today. But so I have to get my car checked out, and hoping it's not too much damage. But I'm very upset that that it's taken so long for our own government to realize how corrupt our CIA is. And the CIA is the deep state. I've met them personally. I have some of these people. I know, you know, I mean, I've been targeted for all these years. I've had these people after me for years. These people are pure evil, and they're pure psychopaths. They're, you know, they're like the epitome of all these different things that are evil people. I mean, they're just complete psychopaths. They have no business, and they're the ones running our government. They've infiltrated every government office, and it's been happening for years. And I'm trying to get my own government to realize that, you know, the deep state is the CIA. They've infiltrated everything. They're the most dangerous agency on the planet. So anyway, so that's what I want to touch on today.